Hi. That would have like we both like looking that way and just like turning. Hi. Cool. So today we're gonna sort of build off of Monday's lesson, specifically the upper body positioning that we established, the sort of owl perch pass head displacement situation, and work a couple of alternative options we have from there. And why you would use these alternative options is a little less like specifically, oh, if they do this exact thing, then I do this exact thing. Excuse me, and more like if I find myself getting stifled in any way, I have these other ways that I can sort of threaten the pass. So just kind of quick review. I have Jimmy in half guard. Let me get that way. I have Jimmy in half guard. I managed to establish some control in the center line, right? So meaning that I have locked him into my center line, usually with sternum control, right? I have my underhook. I'm grabbing the collar, the nape of the neck. I found my way to my head being on this side. Always want my head, when I'm passing with this kind of an underhook, like kind of a knee cut situation, I always want my head on this side, either directly under his chin, so we're centered, or on this side. I never want to be over here. From here, my forehead goes to the floor, and then I'm going to move his head out of the way. Did you see that on the camera there, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Meaning, like, I'm not just resting my head next to his head, because if Jimmy here does like a big bridge to his left, go and do a big bridge to your left, it's like he can kind of mobilize. But say we go back. But if I create that displacement, please do that same bridge. It's like very difficult for him to move around. Just by disrupting his alignment, taking his spine from being a straight line and curving it this way, just a little. Now, on Monday, we worked for sort of patented Alexander Dugas owl perch pass, right? My head moves his head, I take his elbow away from his body, I rest my weight on top of that bicep, and my foot is checking the knee. You guys look, my hips are like really close to the floor, kind of sprawled out. And from here, pressing, turning, cutting, and going. Now, there's a number of different ways that this can go awry. And it's really, I would say, predominantly in the little transitional pieces, like my leg positioning inside the half guard, that arm, getting the elbow farther away. So, for example, I might find that I'm having a hard time, I'll just keep my head up, but imagine I had my head down. I might have a hard time straightening this leg effectively and poking my knee through. So maybe I do have my foot on this knee, but man, I'm just like having a hard time turning my hips over and getting my knee out of here. And like, we've done a lot of passing where my hips turn over. I want to talk about a quick nuance with this. Probably the better angle is to kind of get behind us so you can sort of see a straight line, us in the middle, okay? What is okay for me to do, and I'm not going to get perfect head position here just so you guys can kind of hear me, but imagine my head would be pinned. It's okay for me to come up and turn, and you see how I'm kind of like past his center line? Like my hips are farther this way?
Yeah.
That's fine. The second I get my hips this way, this is when trouble starts happening.
Yeah.
He's going to roll me deep.
Right.
I'm gone. Right? And so if I can't straighten my leg effectively in the half guard, I'm here and I'm trying, like doing like kind of lock everything up tight, and I'm trying to straighten my leg and it's not quite firing. Then the next move that a lot of people make is they kind of grip their hips back over here, and this is where like that free roll is going to happen. It's one thing for me to be able to get up and be this, like in that positioning.
Yeah.
You see the difference there?
Yep, the center line.
Right, it's like I always want to be on or past the center line. I never want to drift over it towards the underhook side. So that's one place we can get stifled. Another place, and you can come on over here, please, is in this sort of upper body fight. More often than not, like the head positioning isn't going to be the battle. If the head positioning is the battle, then we're going to the head under the chin. But what might happen is we're here, my head positioning's in here, and Jimmy has this arm like on the inside, and I can't overhook it. And what this will usually be coupled with is he's sort of on his side. And it's like I have everything, but I don't have him pinned flat, and I don't have this underhook. So it's like I might be able to just owl perch past this, and sometimes you can, but sometimes it's a little sketchy. You see what I'm saying? Like a little suspect. So we're going to go through two alternative paths, because even though he's defending this exact one way that we're going to pass from here, from this sort of head displacement situation, it's not going to save him from the other two. Okay, so the first one is going to be sort of our standard TP pass. Okay, and the way this works is I'm here, and let's just say, yeah, I'll have everything be going wrong. He's locking up my leg, and I can't really turn and straighten my knee that way. Like I can't poke my knee over his thigh. Maybe even I can't get my foot up here. That's another problem, actually, I should note, is sometimes people have a hard time with this, is getting this knee. Especially if, let's say, yeah, you're locked up kind of high up. It's like, that might even be hard for me, right? So, I'm just going to control the arm in some form of fashion. I'm going to grab the elbow, I'm going to pinch it in some way, okay? I don't really care how I do it, but I just want to have something. I'm going to get both of the balls of my feet on the floor, so now I'm pinching my knees together, and both of my feet are on the mat. You see that? My head's still going to be here, so just everything I'm doing, picture my head is here. What I'm going to start doing, guys, is, and Jim, I want you to hold on to my leg tight, is I'm going to start, my weight's going to be on my head and my shoulder with this underhook, and I'm going to start walking my feet towards his butt, bringing my butt to the ceiling. So actually, I'll put my head in the right spot and demo that. So I'm here, my knees are pinching his knee, you guys see that? And I'm going to walk up. And I get to this point. At this point, it's like very hard to hold on to my knee, right? Then I cut through.
Yeah.
This seems like a weirdly like, oh, what he might be able to do stuff, but the key details here is pinching that leg between my knees and being very like diligent about the control up here. This is the place where it's going to fall apart. He's going to try to push your face away. Well, and also like he'll try to bring his knees on the inside to like a butterfly guard or something, but as long as I pinch my knees together, that won't work. So if we go back. So I'm here, and it's like, I'm still head displacement, controlling, I'm here, and so if he tries to like bring his knees in, it's like, it's just not gonna fire. If he tries to move me around, like I'm really surprisingly stable. You just cut right through that guard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So pretty simple, just pinch your knees together, walk your feet in, and like Zach kind of referred to that as like a TP pass or something. Alternatively, let's say I don't feel like I can lift the leg up or something, or maybe I don't like that, okay? This other one, I'm here, I've got my positioning, and maybe similar situation. I don't feel like I can put my foot on the knee or what have you. I'm going to start doing kind of the same thing as the last one, but I'm going to make one big adjustment in the middle. So I have my knees pinched, I start walking up, right? From here, I'm going to replace my leg with my hand. You guys see that? So can you see that, Mike? I'm grabbing the pant
I can see it.
inside, or outside of the knee.
Yep.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to step wide. Jimmy, move me around here. Yeah. And then from here, cut through.
Okay.
Obviously, you're not going to have the arm in a huge control position. He'll frame it on the inside of your hip, but I have passed the guard. You can sort of go right to that. That's actually Ken Brown, and obviously if you want to see his details, you can check out his stuff on this, but he likes to go that way. So again, let's say I just go right to that. I'll be here, here, and then it's like wide, and then slice through.
Are you pushing?
It's more
So-
like
Okay.
keeping it there, right? What I don't want is that knee to come inside. So all of these, like pinching my knees together, holding the pant leg, these are all solutions to preventing like the knee coming in and like regarding to like a butterfly or something. So I'll go through those again. Actually, you want to see those, Jim? Sure. Tony, can I grab you, please? So number one, let's spin. It's better passing on this side. So I'm here. So number one is I have everything. I have them pinned. I have my underhook. I have my head in the right spot, but maybe this arm's pinned tight. Maybe he's like locked up, like more like your hands. Yeah, like in there. And like I can't really straighten my knee. Like I don't feel like I can turn my hips without drifting them across the center arm. So my first option, again, head to the floor, moving his head out of the way. I'm controlling this arm in some way. I like this grip. There's like usually when this elbow is bent, there's this nice bunch of fabric right here. And I'll clamp that. So I'm here. From here, I'm sliding this back and pinching my knees together, and then I'm going to walk my feet up. So you see, I get real heavy on my head. But again, if Tony tries to move me around, It's like weirdly stable from there.
Yeah.
So pretty simple. Just walk your feet up, keep your knees pinched together, and then you'll see the cuddle happen. And then number 2, kind of start similarly, but instead of walking up, I'm going to eventually do a big step outward. So I'm here, got my head inside, boom, and let's say same situation, hand in right real tight. I can't beat this. So I might start out with my knees pinching just to kind of get some elevation, but eventually I'm going to grab the pant leg on the inside of the knee and I'm going to step wide and cut through. Generally speaking, you'll end up in this position. If you can, actually I was going to do one extra note. So he's got this hip frame against my hip. I want to immediately lift to the sky. Like in a strong way I can do that is, think about like in one of those like martial arts movies where like you're getting attacked by 12 ninjas and then you like elbow one behind you.
Nice.
Right? So there. So Tony tries to take that back. Like, pretty stable rip. And I settle, humble through, or work from a case at a time. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Mike. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? That was part of our ground. 1, 2, 3.